It's another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of our live Saturday broadcast from InWheelTime.com. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com.
There clearly has been a little, what do they call it, a shuffle change. Look, it's Jeff Zekin sitting in Conrad's place. Conrad had to leave early today. Howdy and welcome. This is the award-winning car talk show In Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zekin, and yours truly, Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Is Rodney on there?
Rodney is here.
All right. Well, we're going to get to him in just a second. It's a beautiful day here in the neighborhood. What are you all doing?
Never mind. When we're ready. Are you ready? When we get ready to go to Rodney, I'll get it.
All right. It's different because, we've got everybody doing their own thing. Mars works the Zoom. Jeff works.
Hit the Zoom.
Jeff works the switcher.
And I just caught up with Jeff and understood what he was wanting me to do.
Yeah. So at any rate, with all that beside the point, I want to talk to who I've been dying to bring on the show, Rodney Rodriguez. He's the announcer out of Houston Motorsports Park. He also runs a race car show called Russ, or the Revved Up Sports Show, and he's out of San Antonio or Austin. Where are you?
Round Rock, north of Austin.
Round Rock. Oh, well, I leave it to me to get it wrong.
Central Texas.
It's all the same. It's a 35 corridor. It's all joined together. You can't tell where it starts or stops. You're all good.
Rodney, it's good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Good to see you guys, man. Beautiful Saturday, taking it day by day. It's what we do these days, isn't it?
It is.
That's it.
So I want to get a little background on you, Rodney. I didn't know you before our get together at Houston Motorsports Park when there's a race out there, and you do such a great job as the announcer out there on the PA, and it's fun working with this guy too. You never know about these kind of guys. It's like, well, what is he going to say? Well, what kind of introduction?
I've heard him. I've been out there.
Yeah, he's very good. So, Rodney, give me a little bit of background on you. Obviously, you got a radio show going on there in the Austin area. And so how did you get into broadcasting?
I actually I stumbled into it. I grew up in racing. My dad and I would hit Austin Speedorama track here in Austin, and we were race fans for a long time. And then he started racing, and then in the mid-'90s he turned it over to me, and we really enjoyed that. And good friend of mine, Marianne Nauman, that actually now runs Cotton Bowl Speedway. She gave me the first opportunity to jump behind a microphone over at Thunder Hill Raceway.
What year was that?
That was, I think, the end of 2008 is when I jumped behind a microphone.
That Raceway Cotton is still on the circuit, isn't it?
Is Cotton Bowl still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cotton Bowl's still open. I get to see it. I drive right by it every time I'm headed y'all's way for Houston. It's
Nice.
right there off 290. And I do announce for her still from time to time. So I'm like the 290 kid. I just kind of stay on 290, it seems like. But it started there, and I haven't looked back. I've been doing that ever since. And the racing has started and stopped as I've been doing this, and right now the racing stopped. So it really affords me time. As a matter of fact, tonight I'm heading to Edna, which is over towards Victoria, to Texana Raceway Park, and I'll call some dirt track racing there tonight for those good folks. So
how fun!
It's, good way to spend Saturday nights, and you just get energy off the crowd. You know how that goes.
Yes, I do. Hey, by the way, I mentioned it earlier, but I'll mention it again. Last race, I think it was the first race that I have been to where the crowd started doing the wave. I haven't seen the wave in years.
that was funny because now we're streaming through Houston Motorsports Park TV and the YouTube channel. Somebody apparently had messaged in about that, and somebody got word to me about doing the wave. And I thought the same thing when they said the wave. I'm like, what year is this? It's like, come on, man, we've made it into the almost 2020, and those people obliged, and they did it. It was 5 or 6 different times, so they had to stay up on their feet. That dollar beer, they worked it off.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then now we've got a new star out there on the track, Caden the Cone Boy.
Cone Boy, I'll tell you, man, that guy, and it's funny things like that. It just kind of hits you in the middle of the show. And it's funny the way it started out with him, because I don't think he realized exactly what was going on, initially. But now he sees it. Now you see him, doing facial expressions and whatever to the crowd. And I mean, the crowd, I think Caden gets the loudest ovation over any winner.
Yeah, exactly. Taking the cone on and off the track after there's been a yellow flag.
It's risky. It's a very risky position.
Yeah, it is. But he does.
He's young. He's young. He's agile. He's like a jack.
He can dodge. He can weave, bob.
We would be in trouble, guys, but he is totally good.
Yeah. So, I noticed when I was up there visiting with you a couple of weeks ago in your position up there in the announce position up there high above the track, that while you're calling, like, for instance, the time trials, you have on your cell phone, you're able to pull up exactly what the speed is of the car, just like that, man. I want to know about that. I'm old school. I didn't know anything about that sort of stuff. It used to be just a guy sitting there with a stopwatch, and then all of a sudden we have beams out there on the track, and now clearly it's almost instantaneous on your phone.
Yeah. With everything going to electronic scoring, I'm with you, Don. Up until 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I had sheets of paper, with everything written down. But that app is actually called Race Monitor, and you can get it, in Google Play or in the Apple iStore, whatever the case may be. And that is tied in directly to timing and scoring, and it gives you the lap speed of the competitors, during time trials as the race is going on. Every time the car flashes by, their name pops up and it gives you their time. And it's really a good way to follow along.
Oh, wow.
Because folks always talk about at the track. It's like, we can't hear me at the track. And it's like, we have a Race Monitor. You can pretty much keep up with what I'm telling you.
So does the app adapt to the track you're at? Like you say, you're going to Edna. Yeah. Does it adapt to that, or you have to reapply it?
Yeah, what you do with that is you just go in, and there's actually 2 different ones. There's Race Monitor, then there's another one called My Race Pass, which the My Race Pass app is the one that the dirt tracks seem to use, and Race Monitor seems to be the one that the asphalt tracks use around the country. But really, you just open either one of those apps up, and you go in and you type in the name of the racetrack, and if there's a live event, it's going to tell you right there. Wow. You just click it, and it takes you right to what's happening. It's a really cool way to keep up. Even if you're not there, you're there live. Yeah, you're there. Absolutely.
So, I can imagine the racers use that too to keep kind of real time track about this is how well my car is performing.
Is there a price for the app?
If I'm not mistaken, the app itself is free, but you have to do like a monthly. I think the monthly thing is like $4.99 or $2.99, something like that. And you can have it on when we get into December and January when we're not racing. There's no need to have that subscription. You just don't do it then. But it's super simple, and it makes it really cool. I mean, and that just shows how this sport has progressed, because it was, and we still have a guy named Steve Young from San Antonio that comes in and manually scores the races, on paper the way we're accustomed to that. But with all that electronic, and it makes disputes and questions and restarts, especially, makes it a heck of a lot easier than it used to be.
Recording the scoring and timing, is that like baseball box scores? They do it that way, or
absolutely,
yeah,
same thing. You get the results at the end of the night and everything. I mean, it's so easy to calculate points. It's I tell you, technology, man, it's really helped the sport out.
Rodney, we want to continue our conversation. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song.
I love these nachos.
I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy.
What's your name?
You know what I love? a ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
A social distancing tip.
Putting distance between yourself and others is critical to slowing the spread of coronavirus. So here are ways to stay in contact without the physical contact part. Call, send a text, set up a video conference, post on social media, dedicate a song on the radio. If you have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Show. Talking to Rodney Rodriguez. He's the guru behind the microphone out there at Houston Motorsports Park. He also has a race-related show there in the Austin area and online called the Revved Up Sports Show. And I want to talk to you about that now. And tell me a little bit about that. You start, if I remember the story correctly, you started it online and then the radio station picked it up. How did that work?
Yeah, it started out, we were just doing a pretty simple audio stream, a few years back. And then one day, for some reason, actually, I'll be real honest with you, I drank a couple of beers before we were doing the show, and I turned on Facebook Live, and we found a whole new element to this thing.
Maybe that's what we should do.
That's what we should do.
You do your best thinking there.
Yeah.
but I was fortunate that I do some work for Genuine Austin Radio, which is a local conglomerate of radio stations here in the Austin area, which is the Horn, all sports, the Longhorn station, Coke FM, which is, classic country, Texas country, and then 105.3 The Bat. And they realized what we were doing. They had a motorsports show through Texas Motor Speedway, and that show went away. And they said, we need content. Do you want to try this? And the show just caught a whole new element.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Saturdays 11 to noon. We have Revved Up ATX. So there's actually two variations of it.
Gotcha. Well, I'm familiar with the one. It's Monday evenings at 6.
Yeah, 6:30. And what we try to do with that, I try to program that to where the Monday show, because Monday predominantly is our racing. Our Texas folks, our Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. They want to hear about short track racing. Some of those folks are a little soured on NASCAR for whatever reason. So we try to stick to that, and we bring guests in, and so forth that relate more to that. When we go to Saturdays where we can, 101 that to NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One for the broader range of more casual racing listeners.
You have a partner there with you that does the show with you. Tell me about him.
Yeah, that's Bobby Chaffee. He actually, he's a race announcer as well. He doesn't do it, quite as much as he used to. But it was a concept that he and I had talked about for a long time to try to get a racing program together. And what it was, guys, is we, with the sport of racing here in Texas, just throughout, obviously asphalt, we've got the one track there, thank goodness. But we just don't, we try to be the spokes people for racing, because we have to do this to survive, because it's the sport can go extinct because the money is just ridiculous that it costs to do this, and we just got to keep it in front of people. Yeah.
Well, that the Saturday show, both of your shows, and you yourself, very talented, and we really appreciate the racing shows, because I'll tell you, back in the day, there were no racing shows, local racing shows like this, and we think that there's a need. We think that there's a want for it as well.
Yeah, and that's if you really look, I mean, you guys are talking about racing there in Houston, and I mean, this is what, the third largest city in the United States, for crying out loud, and you guys are talking about it, but if you look at Dallas has Texas Motor Speedway sitting right there. That there is nothing there. I mean, none of their stations have anything, whether it be radio or online. There really isn't anything.
Well, they talk about it locally when the event is happening, probably a week ahead of time, but they don't actually do it nonstop.
Exactly. And so what I've started to do is I tell people that I host, the most popular race format show in the state of Texas, which is easy to do, and you're the only one.
Thank you. But you just don't have to tell them that part. Yeah, just kind of leave that part off.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
when you do the Revved Up Sports Show on Monday nights at 6:30, do you pop a cold one right there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is really strange because as that show began to gain popularity, it was a mistake because I try to be as professional as possible, at all times, and one time there
sometimes it works.
Sometimes it works. There was a beer sitting on the desk, but I've talked to, as I started getting to some of the tracks along the Gulf Coast. I was in Pensacola one year, and I talked to several people that said what they liked about that program was it seemed like a couple of dudes sitting together at a racetrack, having a cold beer, and so now I have to do it.
You got to keep up that image, Bob.
Beer, by golly.
Yeah.
Twist my arm.
We've got some whiskey stash somewhere here, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Actually, a big bottle of TX. I'm thinking, exactly. Well, so you're going to be here, let's see, it's next weekend, as a matter of fact.
Week from today.
Yeah. Boobs Rock 2020, and that's just obviously Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so that's one where that affects so many people, and to acknowledge that and to be able to incorporate that into the program that we're going to have out at the track, that's really something special. There's a lot of folks within the racing community, obviously, that have been affected with breast cancer. So to be able to just have some sort of impact with that and race for those folks, we'll do some special things there. Twin feature races for the trucks and the modifieds.
Yeah, the 10
those guys.
Twin 25s, yeah.
Yeah, they're racing for national points and national money, so we want to try to get them, all the races that we can, so that they're eligible for that. And then, of course, the old-fashioned powder puff is coming back, so that's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, Gina and I have talked about destruction derbies.
Figure eight.
Figure eight is fun. It'd be kind of difficult at that track to do a figure eight, but I mean, hey, nothing's impossible, and Gina's pretty much game for any of that sort of stuff. And when she told me boobs rock, I thought that is absolutely brilliant. That we get the powder puff out there, breast cancer awareness. It just makes sense to me.
Are you racing in the powder puff?
I'm not racing this time in the powder puff. I think that's coming up maybe next year. Yeah.
He's got to work his way up to the powder
I
puff.
think what they need to do is they need to have an announcer race. What do you think, Rodney?
They used to do that at one of the dirt tracks up north. They would do that, and they actually invited me to go do that. But at the time, I was actually competing full time, because for the longest time in Kyle, what I would do is I would announce, and then I'd run off and go race and come back and finish the night. So kind
of like your pace car driver.
That's exactly right. Multitasking, just like that guy does. That guy. Except I never got to drive, cars quite as cool as that. Well, and I would crash from time to time. So hopefully that guy doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, we don't want that guy to do that. But I have to tell you that that's an experience unto itself. And one of the things that I think that most people don't realize is that there may be spotters up in the tower talking to the drivers, but there's also a race director directing the actual show itself, which is who I'm listening to when it comes to driving the pace car. And he's my director. Okay, pace car, go out right after car number 11 right out there. Pick up the pace, slow down the pace. Pace car off the track, that sort of thing. And there actually is a maestro, if you will, conducting the orchestra of cars that are out there. And I don't think most people realize that.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, Don, because I've actually the last couple of races, I've been doing some social media stuff during the day, and I've done golf cart rides around the racetrack. Folks don't realize. I mean, it's in a circle, whatever, but folks don't realize how complex that track is. For one thing, there's you're going from asphalt to concrete when you hit the corners, and then you drop off the concrete back onto the backstretch, back on the asphalt again. But like the banking and the turns, I mean, for the casual fan sitting in the grandstands, doesn't look like there's any banking to it. But when you get up on the track, you are driving up on the hill out there.
The texture of the track, the integrity of the track, where's the groove, the bumps, exactly. So, and then the groove, so far, is it rubber down? Is it low? Is it high? So you'll see that during the race. You'll see him searching for the groove.
So, Rodney, for you, we encourage everybody to tune you in, the Revved Up Sports Show. You can find it online and on Facebook Facebook. It's Monday night at 6:30. It's great to talk to you. And we will join up with you again next Saturday evening for the 6 o'clock green flag, 5 o'clock gates open, Houston Motorsports Park.
You betcha. Boobs rock 2020, and boobs do rock, no doubt. So that will be a good time. Bring all the fans out. We'll get out in the crowd, and we'll have a good time one last time before we put 2020 to bed.
Yeah, amen.
Please.
Yeah, we're wanting to put it to bed. Absolutely. Rod, thanks to you, man. Talk to you soon.
Take care, gents.
You too. All right, Rodney Rodriguez. All right, got something ugly or maybe nice to say about our show? Well, we want to hear it. All you have to do is shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. A splash and go, and we will be back with a little feature for you that we've got right after this.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. Advance Auto Parts and CarQuest present the Boobs Rock Powder Puff Race. Saturday night, October 17th at Houston Motorsports Park. Gates open at 5. The green flag waves at 6. Wear a mask. Social distancing and sanitizer rules. Enjoy $1 hot dogs and $1 beer. $5 discount ticket info online at NASCARHouston.com. Saturday
That
night,
is
October
enough
17th,
of that.
gates at
We've
5,
already
wrestling
heard
at 6.
that, and we've told you all about that. And there's I've got it all jacked up over here. So
That's all right.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Okay.
Yeah,
I kind of lost track of myself.
Because we're not paying any attention.
No, and nobody else is either.
Mike and I are playing solitaire over there.
Is that what you're doing? So I thought I'd give you guys a little surprise. We don't have a lot of time to do this, but I thought this is a great feature. This is from Haggerty.
Oh.
And the headline is 10 James Bond cars not made by Aston Martin. Are you ready?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know there
Bond
was 10.
Now,
these 10 that he drove or 10 in the movie?
No, in the movie.
All right.
In the movie.
I got one.
Sunbeam Alpine.
Sure.
Remember that car?
Yep.
That was in Dr. No.
Okay. Yeah. The little white convertible.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. How about the Triumph Stag?
Triumph, yeah, I don't know the Stag make.
Diamonds Are Forever. Also known with the Ford Mustang Mach 1 in that, right? How about the Chevy Bel Air in Live and Let Die?
That was
yeah, okay.
I don't
There's
know
a classic
What he
checkered cab Bond hires to tail
Goldfinger.
Mr. Big Cheesy.
What's the one in Goldfinger?
Well, just a moment.
Okay.
I'm not.
Don't read ahead.
All right, I'm not reading it.
I actually
You
don't
look
have,
over your shoulder.
I don't know if I got. Anyway, so here's another one: the Citroen 2CV. You know, I've always been fascinated by the Citroen as to why anybody would ever buy one of those things.
We had lunch together after the show, after the drive-in.
Yeah.
That it was a Citroen that we couldn't identify the vehicle because it didn't have any tags.
That's
on it.
right. It just had
it just had the logo.
The
the
logo.
emblem.
What logo is that? I said,
and
I thought it was a Citroen.
And we Googled it, and sure enough, it was.
It was a Citroen. Okay. I think the dog wants in.
Yeah, I think so.
So that was your eyes only. Okay. How about the Alfa Romeo GT-V6? Octopussy.
Okay.
Mercedes 250 SE, another Octopussy car. The 1937 Bentley 4.5 liter.
That's Goldfinger.
Thunderball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was pretty weird. Renault 11, A View to a Kill.
Okay, that was a later one.
Ford Mondeo. Remember the Ford Mondeo? Casino Royale. Volvo S40.
Okay.
Yeah. The Volvo S40 Quantum of Solace. I don't think I saw Quantum of Solace.
What's the new with the latest Bond movies? A couple years ago.
Wait a minute, they're fixing to come out with one, and they've delayed it.
There's a BMW one
because there are no movie theaters open.
But there was a BMW one, one of the latest ones. And there was also the one I was thinking of. There was a Mustang.
Brosnan or something? Didn't he have a BMW up in the
Well, this is the ones that they put together. Okay, there might have been 10 more.
Put our
I don't know.
Together. There you go.
I didn't realize, if you're a car guy, all you really care about is what cars are in the movie.
Right.
You don't care how many, Chevy Bel Airs there are. It's the fact that it's a Chevy Bel Air in the car.
I think they left a few out. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think your goal this week, while you're lounging at home during the day,
I got a gig tonight,
is to. I know you do. So Jeff plays in a band. Did you know that?
Yeah,
Jeff does many things, but he plays in a band. And tonight you're going to be down at the Marina Bar and Grill in Galveston.
Right, at the Yacht Basin.
At the Yacht Basin.
Which is not necessarily at the Yacht Basin that you would think it's at.
Well, yeah, I don't only know.
I think it's over there by where the cruise ships are.
Right, just past that.
It's kind of in the touristy area there where the oil rig platform.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You can see it's a big oil rig sitting out there in the water.
There's a big ship out there.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. Let's do a couple of
news. You can find it.
Let's do a couple of news headlines before we run out of time. Amazon and Rivian revealed a custom electric delivery van on Thursday that's set to hit the road next year. The new EV is in line with Amazon's commitment to be net zero carbon by 2040 through the Climate Pledge. I'm not sure exactly what that is. The vehicles will begin delivering packages in 2021, and 10,000 electric delivery vans will be manufactured by 2022. Amazon said in a blog post, by 2030, 100,000 electric delivery vans will be in commission.
There's actually a commercial out about that, I believe.
The van can travel up to 150 miles on a single charge and is the first of 3 electric vehicle models that Amazon and Rivian are launching. I thought that was interesting. Tesla's new factory in Austin that they announced not too long ago won't build only the Cybertruck. State filings suggest the company also plans to make batteries on site as part of an ambitious strategy to further integrate its supply chain.
Wow.
The facility is proposing to operate a cell manufacturing unit to produce the battery packs that are installed in the vehicle, according to a 188-page air quality permit application.
Imagine all the materials coming into that.
Yeah, but that's really pretty smart because if they have problems or they need to swap them out.
Centralized.
That's right.
Yep.
Toyota Motor Corporation's Lexus brand outsold luxury rivals Mercedes-Benz and BMW in the latest quarter in the U.S. as inventory shortages triggered by the pandemic hampered the German brands. I did not know this. Lexus, which hasn't won the annual U.S. luxury sales race in a decade, grew 2% in the third quarter to 75,285 vehicles. Deliveries at Mercedes declined 9.4% to 69,631, and BMW suffered a 16% decline to 69,570. Mercedes is still leading the other 2 brands year-to-date by a wide margin. Tesla also is likely near the top of the U.S. luxury segment, but doesn't break out its U.S. sales in its quarterly disclosures.
Of course not.
No, we don't.
No, of course not. You're going to hold that's secret.
That's right.
You can't.
That's right.
Yeah, we're not telling you.
Just keep shoveling me money.
Yeah.
Do we know what we're next weekend? We've got the Houston Motorsports Park race.
Yes, we do.
And what else? Do we have anything already lined up for next weekend?
We've got we've got some things that kind of backing up.
Are you
a little
working
bit.
on?
Working on it because of the hurricane. Kind of changed. A couple of things happened, and so we're kind of hate to commit at the moment, but we should have everything firmed up by Monday.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about the Texas Truck Rodeo.
So no, we didn't. I haven't seen the winners list out of that yet.
Okay. Well, I think that what we need to do is we need to talk about that next week.
I'll see if I can get the president to join us or something.
You got Trump coming on?
He knows somebody that's got some pull somewhere.
Getting Trump on.
President of the Texas Auto Riders.
That. Hey, well, that's it for this episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. Hey, when you're on Facebook, please give us a like and tell your friends about us and share our junk. You'll get Conrad's unicorn hunting features along with all things automotive all week long. Special thanks to all of our guests today. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the fabulous David Ainsley. Our video and marketing elitist is Jeffrey Zekin. This week's In Real Time Car Show is produced and directed by Lil Troy. For booking agent and podcast man Mike, Out of This World Mars, his royalty King Conrad DeLong, and Jeffrey Zekin, I'm Don Armstrong saying so long for now, and we hope you'll join us on the next live show next Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network.
Oh,
yes, sir.
There you go.
So we thank you for joining us today, and thank you for being part of the In Real Time family. We hope that you have a great weekend. Mask up, stay sanitary, have a great weekend, and so long for now.
Hey, thanks for checking us out. Don Armstrong saying be sure and join us live every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on YouTube, Facebook, and InWheelTime.com. Our podcasts are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. We'll see you next time.